Hello, citizens of Gotham. You are watching the Bitcoin Vigilante. What is up, folks? Emergency live stream. Wasn't going to go live today. In all honesty, it's my birthday today. I'm born on August 5th. So I was just kind of chilling, did yoga, running some errands, this and that, getting ready for my trip to Thailand. I was watching the markets crash, and I was like, oh my goodness. So it is happening. It is on. It is live. It is going down. So thank you to everybody watching here and over on the Rockfin. Let me know what part of the world you're watching in. And of course, we are on Twitch. I was trying to set up Rumble. It seems like it's a little more involved. Yes, Bitcoin symbol represents the ultimate challenge to the financial system. That is correct. So this is nuts. What is happening is absolutely nuts. But we predicted this here on this show. I've been saying this is coming. We've had all these people on the show over the years. Christy I, Max Kaiser. I mean, people talking finance. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. And here it is. Thank you, Tony. Happy birthday from the UK. I really appreciate that. Of course, you can support the show with a super chat or a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. Make sure there's a dash in there. And then, of course, you can support us on Rockfin, rockfin.com/Graham-Elwood. And hello. Shaved knuckles are rad. Yes, they are. Behind the headlines with Graham-Elwood BTH. Nice. Nice. The Bitcoin breakdown with Graham-Elwood. Oh, I like it. I like it. Let me just add a brand here. Let me just add background. We're going to add a new background. Sweet. That's not, I haven't updated the new one. Yeah, we'll do the new one. Hold on a real quick. But like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. All that stuff helps. No, that's not what we want. All right, kitty cats. I'm going to try. Why don't you try this? Try this new exciting logo. Here we go. All right. Well, we'll keep playing with that. We're just doing on no more t-shirts, transition to Henley shirts, above the t-shirt, just a polo. You can see the folds. I'm doing the best with the sheet. What do you want from me, huh? All right. Well, this has got to be a tight thing because I have an appointment later. So I want to. Wait, no, I want that one. Here we go. All right, I'm going to start this first segment, kids. Anybody else having problems with Graham's video playback? Well, just to give you some clarity, one of the ways we do to earn money on this show, the live stream is always free. As soon as the live stream is done, I put it on the Patreon. So, or Rockfin Premium. So you have to pay to get the playback. You can watch it free now, and then I drop clips of it because I'm sympathetic to the fact that some people's money's tight. But if you can support the show, if you go to Patreon at the $10 level or Rockfin Premium, which is like now I think $15, you get to watch the playback of all of the live streams. And you get the audio podcast. I don't release an audio podcast on any of the free formats. So that's why. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Graham, hey, traditional spelling. I believe you're in Perth. Yes. So, because I want to give people as much free content as possible, but I also need to generate revenue from the show. That's the realities of the world we're living in. So, all right. I'll be back in less than 10 segments with our segment. Boom. There is only one segment. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Bitcoin Vigilante. Boom. We're focusing on Bitcoin, folks, but we were the political vigilante. Now we're the Bitcoin vigilante because we're just going to focus more on Bitcoin. But we're going to talk politics, but as it relates to Bitcoin. But this is a story I've been talking about for a while. This is why 4 years ago, I was encouraging all of you to buy Bitcoin and hold on to it, because I knew a financial crash was coming. We've had a lot of people on the show, Max Kaiser, Christy I, everybody was like, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I've done numerous stories. And last Friday, we did a live stream when $2.9 trillion got pulled out of the markets. Started in Japan, then it ended up here. And I was like, the media isn't talking about it. Well, now today, by the end of the markets have all closed today around the world, they have to talk about it now. Because this was an AP, right? So this is a mainstream media outlet. Financial markets around the globe are falling. Here's what to know and how we got there. Markets on Wall Street and around the world are in a mini panic, worried about a slowing U.S. economy. Investors sent the market in Japan to its worst day in decades and have sliced billions in market value off some of the world's biggest technology companies. They've turned a relatively calm year in markets on its head. For most of the year, investors worldwide drove stock markets higher, convinced that central banks were successful, if haltingly getting inflation under control, and buoyed by a healthy U.S. economy and a promise of artificial intelligence. Well, right there, I mean, let's just stop right there. This is something I've talked about on the show before. We've been in a recession for several post-COVID. We've been in a recession. But they said, oh, no, it's not a recession. Look at this. The job numbers are up. Everything's good. Everything's great. It was like, no, you look around this country. And for the last 2 years, I mean, the first year of COVID, okay, everything was shut down. People were getting stimulus money. Everyone was like kind of doing okay, but not really. A lot of industries got wiped out. Some people did okay, but a lot of industries got wiped out. In September of 2021, the unemployment stopped. And then in late 22 or beginning of 23, I forget, all of the eviction moratoriums ended. So we've been talking about this. We've been talking about there's a real estate, there's a commercial real estate bubble. There's a regular real estate bubble. There's a car loan bubble. I mean, we've been talking about all these bubbles. Then, When I was in El Salvador doing Orange Pill podcast, Max Kaiser was talking about the bond markets and how that's a huge bubble. I mean, this is Intel just laid off like 10,000 people or something like that. So this is how like the mainstream media is kind of being caught in their propaganda. They've been saying everything's great, and regular Americans and people all over the world have been like, what are you talking about? Everything's great. Grocery prices have gone up. I mean, the last 2 years, especially, inflation has gone through the roof, and everyone's like, oh yeah, the job market's great. The economy's doing great. Who cares when we can't pay our bills? Well, now the markets are collapsing, right? So now they can't like lie, because when they always say the stock market's doing good, I hate them. I always like, the stock market does not equal the economy. The stock market is, a casino for rich people. The stock market's doing great. What does that mean to you and I? What does that mean to you? What does that mean to your grocery bill? What does that mean to your car insurance bill? What does that mean to your healthcare costs? What does that mean for just, buying your kids' school supplies? What does the stock market have to do with any of that? Nothing. It's just nonsense. So let's get back into this story where they're having to kind of own it. That confidence has been hit in the past few days. Weak readings in the job market, manufacturing, and construction last week sparked worries about a U.S. economic slowdown and criticism that the Federal Reserve waited too long to cut rates. Meanwhile, the Bank of Japan raised rates, causing turmoil in Japan's markets. On Monday, the Nikkei plunged more than 12%, its worst drop since 1987. Investors are now listening to warnings that Apple, Nvidia, and other big tech stocks have gotten too expensive. On Friday, tech-heavy NASDAQ composite went into a correction, which is a 10% decline from its most recent high. It dropped an additional 3.4% Monday. So we're talking about almost a 15% drop on the NASDAQ. Traders in the U.S. are betting the Federal Reserve will lower rates by 0.5 percentage point in September instead of the usual quarter point. Some are calling for an emergency rate cut. The heaviest selling has been in small companies that make most, if not their sales and profits in the U.S. Prices for oil and other commodities fell because of the economic worries. However, there are opposing voices saying a sell-off is a good thing because the stock prices have risen too high. For individual investors, it's not the time for rash decisions, but a moment to make sure their investments are properly diversified. So since 2022, the Fed has been raising interest rates, which a lot of people have said that's a bad idea. The European Central Bank and the Bank of England cut rates once the Fed signaled it was prepared to cut rates. Yeah, the big tech companies they're pumping their stuff up. So let's get into Japan. The Nikkei suffered its worst day ever decline, dropping 18.2% on Friday and Monday combined. 18.2% in 2 days. One catalyst for the outsized move has been the interest rate hike by the Bank of Japan last week. We talked about that on Friday. The Bank of Japan's rate increase affected what are known as carry trades. That's when investors borrow money from a country with low interest rates and relatively weak currency. Wow. So don't load up on Bitcoin. As of 4 p.m. Monday, the price of the world's largest cryptocurrency was just above 54,000, down from nearly 68,000 1 week ago. While Bitcoin did serve as a safe haven in all sorts during the worst of the pandemic, it mostly acts like another risky asset. Yeah. Well, that's funny. This is what I told you guys. When the markets collapse, Bitcoin will go down. 54,000 is a great price to get it, even if it drops more. What is going to happen? As I've been telling you, the markets are going to crash. Warren Buffett just pulled a bunch of money out. I'll get into all these stories in a second. And I think then people are going to turn and look around and go, there's only really one safe store of value asset, and that's going to be Bitcoin. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. So here's some more. This is from today on the NASDAQ.
History in the making.
What some would call history in the making. Don't say that.
We have never been down 1,000 points ever, not even intraday on the NASDAQ.
Is that true?
That is true.
Okay. I'm down 6% right from the get-go. This is heavy set. Big tech, here we go. Look at them go down. Microsoft is down $20. That's 5%. Alphabet, 5%. Meta, 6%. Amazon, 6%. Apple, 9% down. Let's pull out Apple. This is interesting. What a question, Pete?
History in the making.
What something?
So that's
history in the making.
they're saying like this has never happened, right? But this is something Altcoin Daily, and I'm friends with these guys, Aaron and Austin. They made a great point today on Twitter. And the crypto prices have all crashed as well too. BlackRock, MicroStrategy, Fidelity, and Grayscale have all sold 0 Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin, if Bitcoin was just part of this crazy sell-off and was a risky asset like they keep trying to tell us, Bitcoin would be at like 40,000. It would just be completely plummeting. It went as low as 50 and then has bounced back up. It still might go low again, but I'm telling you, if you haven't gotten any Bitcoin, now is a good time to get it. This is not financial advice. Let's explain the yen carry trade. One of the things that is contributing to this. Traders borrow money in the lowest rate currency, convert that money to another currency, invest in the currency. Yen yield goes up, new currency yield goes down. Borrow 1 billion yen, convert to US dollars, buy an asset, profit. Now you have a $450,000 loss. See this? When a leverage trade goes wrong, it unwinds fast. Don't be surprised if stocks, bonds, treasuries, and more go down. If a fund blows up, they don't just, wow. That's what happened in 2008. Remember we kept saying there's going to be a bigger thing than 2008? This is this one, stock hodler. The Japanese yen has retracted an entire year's worth of price action in just 26 days. This isn't about any one asset crashing. This is about the entire global monetary system once again buckling under the weight of its own BS. This is about the Bank of Japan pretending they can raise rates without blowing everything up in the process. The U.S. was already running crisis-level budget deficits. What happens when portfolio values tank and capital gain tax revenues dry up as a result? The U.S. deficit goes ballistic and credit markets ultimately seize up as the federal government floods the market with bonds to pay for deficits. I've been saying this for years on here. The outcome is binary. Wow. Either they let things fall apart or they print to hold it together. So that could mean more money printing. My bias is towards a great debasement, but a portfolio prepared for either scenario will help you with today's volatility passionately. My portfolio remains overweight Swiss francs, Bitcoin, gold, and crucially, no debt or leverage. The best asset to hold through the great debasement, finite bear money without counterparty risk. Yep. No debt leverage. Wow. Okay, guys. I mean, this is what we've been talking about is going to happen, and here it is. Now, this is Jack Mahler. I don't know this guy personally, but he was saying something interesting, and I just wanted to play this.
Fixate again on the. I do want to fixate again on the reason Bitcoin's selling off. I think it's an important idea by Parker Lewis. Bitcoin's not a hedge; it's a solution. I love that quote. Anyone that understands Bitcoin doesn't take 1% of their portfolio and use it as a hedge, right? Anyone who understands Bitcoin's like their entire portfolio, like me. I only own Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin's not a hedge. It's not supposed to perform well in the early innings of a financial crisis. Because what happens in a financial crisis is everything sells off. So even before Bitcoin existed in the '08 financial crisis. Gold sold off tremendously before rallying to new highs. And so Bitcoin's not a hedge. Don't evaluate it as an ability to hedge moments like this. It's a solution. It's a replacement. I do want to.
That's a great point. That's one of the things I've been saying too on this show. It will go down, but this is something I really want to show. Warren Buffett is holding a record $277 billion in cash. He just sold 50% of his Apple stock. Now he buys it all at a discount. So that's what these rich guys do. They see this coming. They've been selling off and stockpiling cash. So then when everything crashes, when things are going great, that's when those guys sell off, and then they hold on to their cash. And when then everything crashes, they buy everything up at a discount. That's what Warren Buffett's been doing his whole life. I'm telling you. He knew it was coming. All these guys did. They all knew it was coming. Oh, look at that. Weapons manufacturer during all of this financial crisis, who's doing well? Well, Lockheed Martin stock price is up 23% in 1 month while the market has been tanking. Gee, it's almost like Lockheed Martin knew. Isn't that weird? Wow. One of the defense contractors knew this might happen or maybe helped create it. Oh, wow. Weird. Oh, man. As we're ramping into World War III all over the planet, these guys are going to make a buck. Sweet. Way to go, Lockheed. That's why I buy Bitcoin, man. It defunds the central banks. It defunds the war machine and companies like Lockheed Martin. So, and this to total it up, this is what happened today. $1.4 trillion was wiped out today on the US stock market. So 2.9 Friday, 1.4 today. That's over $4 trillion wiped out in 2 trading days. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So, this is either they've been planning this or this is just their stupidity and their short-sighted greed is going to put us in this position again. Could be a little bit of both. Who knows? Taiwan stock market. Taiwan stock market crashes to worst day in 57 years. That happened all today, August 5th, my birthday, market crash day. Unbelievable. I just bookmarked all of these stories. Now they're calling it, they're screaming for a rate cut, which they think might slow this down.
Up 26 points a day. It did over 50 at one point, 49.80. And earlier, Tom Lee said when we see the VIX peak and maybe come down a little, that could indicate some type of bottoming. Joining us now is Jeremy Siegel, Professor Emeritus of Finance at University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business, Chief Economist at Wisdom Tree. Jeremy, I hate, you probably aren't happy to say I told you so either, given what we're witnessing. But you thought the Fed was staying once again, for the second time, staying at the party too long and too restrictive.
Absolutely. And, this may surprise me. I'm calling for a 75 basis point emergency cut in the Fed funds rate with another 75 basis point cut indicated for next month at the September meeting. And that's minimum. The Fed funds rate right now should be somewhere between 3.5% and 4%. Let me give you very simple logic of my position here. At the June meeting, the Fed has said that the long run Fed funds rate when inflation reached 2% and unemployment has come up to 4.2% should be 2.8. That's the normal. 2.8 is the normal Fed funds rate. Well, on Friday, we blew it across the employment number. We're at 4.3. That even argues for a lower one. Now, as far as inflation, we're at 2.5%. We've gone down 90% towards the target on the inflation rate. We've overshot the target on the employment. Those are the two targets explicitly mentioned by the Federal Reserve. All right, and how much have we moved the Fed funds rate? 0. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
All right, now they're talking about 0.75% cut like to now, and then another 0.75% in November. I mean, this is and this is Max Kaiser. I mean, he and I talked about this on Orange Pill when I was in El Salvador. Very few are aware of what's going on here and the risks involved. The yen carry trade has been a linchpin supporting global liquidity for 30 years. If it blows, the credit freeze of 2008 will look small. At issue, the Japanese economy has flipped from deflation to inflation. The weak yen is setting up rate increases. Spread on carry trade gets squeezed to nothing. Wow. Yeah, I remember Max talking about that. I remember him explaining that to me in the audience when on one of our Orange Pill episodes. All right, guys, that's what's happening. That is what's happening. So it's this could be this could so any number of scenarios could happen. One of the things I talked about is a financial crash happens before the election. I was worried like it was going to happen before the election. So then it's going to cause mass hysteria. Who knows how the effects of this are going to trickle out? Is it going to happen? Is it going to slowly get, I mean, are people going to be kicked out of their homes? If there's a run on the banks where people cannot get cash out of the banks, this is why I've been telling you guys for years, get out of the regular banks, get in a credit union and convert it to Bitcoin. Because this is where there's a run on the banks and then there's riots in the streets and then they say, oh, martial law, and we're freezing the November election. I mean, the next couple of months, if this financial crisis keeps ballooning like it looks like it's gonna, all these financial experts are saying it, the mainstream media is finally admitting it, we could be in for a real like chaotic times, really chaotic times. Because the average American hasn't felt it, but they're going to slowly start feeling it. So, you know, what I say on the show, follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Grow your own food and buy Bitcoin. I've been saying this, guys. I've been saying this for this very reason, for this moment. This is why I've been telling you about this. Yeah, so, you can support the show with a super chat. That's a great way to support our show. Or do a tip over on Rockfin. $45 might incite martial law. Neither Kamala nor Biden will. Stop fudding Biden and Harris. Biden and Harris are awful, man. Biden and Harris are awful, so is Trump. Yeah, if you trust any of the people, like, I'm sorry. Yeah. I think Trump has been selected to be the face of the fall, also to finish the job in Gaza, as he likes to say, so mainstream media can do a baby face turn and act like they've been against the genocide. Yeah, maybe. Is Biden still in charge? Was he ever? Yeah, he has mental clear cognitive decline. I don't know how he could be. Just get ready for more crazy stuff. Get ready for more insane stuff between now and November. I mean, anything is possible. And I've been saying this. I've been saying this for quite a while, man. You know, craziness is coming. It's here and it keeps getting nuttier. So make sure you hit the like button. Like, share, subscribe. I love a good disaster pointed in the proper direction. This is why I've always been, this is why literally for the last 4 years, I've been saying buy Bitcoin and hang on to it and be ready for a big financial collapse. This is why I've been saying it. Because I don't trust these people at all. And if there is a big financial collapse, they'll print more money. I mean, I doubt most of us will get it. It'll go to the Wall Street. And no way am I trying to scare you into selling your Bitcoin so I can buy them up cheaply. They're such risky bets, I tell you. Yeah, that's the other thing too. They're hoping anybody that bought Bitcoin, you know, and sees this is just going to sell off because they want to buy it all up. I mean, this is the leftover beefcake makes a great point. This is something I've said from the jump, right? There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin ever made, right? No other altcoin can promise that. So there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin made. So they know there's only a finite number of these. So they want regular people like you and me to just sell our Bitcoin because we have no more money and we have to sell our Bitcoin to pay our bills so that they snatch it up. Yeah. Buy Bitcoin and store it in a cold wallet. I cannot make that more clear. Cold wallet. This is why I showed you that BlackRock, you know, none of those guys have sold their Bitcoin in the last 2 days, the last week. None of them. None of them. If the United States will sell its Bitcoin, it could just to be defiant because Trump said he's going to increase the Bitcoin reserves. The United States owns a lot of Bitcoin, about 150 to 170,000 full coins. It owns from seizing from the Silk Road and, you know, criminals or whatever. So this is, I don't know. You know, if Biden and Harris just decide to sell off Bitcoin to say, Trump's dumb, we don't like Trump, we're going to just do the opposite of what he says. They could do that. Anything's possible this time. Yeah. Self-custody your Bitcoin. Don't buy an ETF, buy actual Bitcoin. You have to get it on exchange and then move it to a cold wallet. Yeah, the United States is one of the largest owners of Bitcoin on the planet. So yeah, they seize Bitcoin from some criminal, but sometimes it was just regular people, the Silk Road thing, and they store it on their cold wallets. And I don't know how the United States actually stores it, but they own it. The United States self-custodies its Bitcoin. So it could sell it, it could distribute it to the citizenry, it could use it to do whatever. So yeah, I would have Bitcoin. If you want to buy gold too, I get that. But crazy. Leak had his computer unlocked when he was arrested. You think other people give up seed phrases for lighter sentences? Probably. Could be Blaze Silverwolf. What's up? No worries, brother. Can also just buy Bitcoin on Swan Bitcoin, then transfer to a cold wallet. Yeah, I would suggest Swan Bitcoin. I like those guys. Where is it? You get $10 in free Bitcoin if you go to swanbitcoin.com/Graham Elwood. And they're having to deal with this thing. So they're canceling their Bitcoin conference because they want to save money, which I think is a smart move. But I would go to swanbitcoin.com. It is a Bitcoin only. They don't encourage you to buy the altcoins or any of that crazy business. They just buy Bitcoin and they teach you how to self-custody. So if you want to learn, like when you're like, Graham, what's a cold wallet? Go to their YouTube channel. So this is a way. So this is nuts. Yeah. I started buying small amounts of silver and gold when it was $4 and $400 respectively. Smart move. That's good. Thank you. No fees up to your first $10,000 in purchases at Swan Bitcoin. No fees. Coinbase has a lot of fees. So Swan's a good place to go, man. Swan's a good place to go. And I know Corey. I've interviewed him on the show. If you go to my Bitcoin playlist, you'll see interviews with Corey from a year ago. I interviewed him like this time last year. I interviewed Corey. It was really cool. So they're cool people in a cool organization. They're Bitcoin maxis. They're not running crypto scams. You know, they're not Sam Bankman-Frieders. So that's my show, everybody. Follow the money connected dots, get the truth, and buy Bitcoin because the collapse is here. It is happening. Hit the like button, support us any way you can. That's a Lightning wallet. You can donate Bitcoin to the show. Trezor's a decent wallet. I know some people that use the Ledger wallet. There's a lot of different cold wallets out there. Just find the one that you're the most comfortable with. So yeah. Someone in the chat's using Tangem. I don't know much about that wallet, but there's a lot of good wallets out there. A lot of good cold wallets. And again, if you go to the Swan Bitcoin YouTube channel, they have a lot of good videos on how to self-custody, which is putting it in a cold wallet. So I would use swanbitcoin.com, and you get a free $10 in Bitcoin if you open up an account using my name, my coupon code there. All right, guys, stay smart, pay attention to this, and just get ready. The media, if they haven't already, the politicians and the media someone's going to go, your money's safe. The minute they say that, you know it's not. And they said that in the spring last year when the banks collapsed. There's FTX in 22, and then the spring of 23, they're like, oh, your money's safe. No, it's not. When they say that, that's when you know it's not safe. That's when you should run and get your money out of there. So that's what's going down, everybody. That is what is going down. So, crazy times. So follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. And yeah, they'll blame China and Russia or something, you know. All right, guys, I won't be live streaming for a little while. I'm going to Thailand this week, and I'm going to be doing videos. I'll be putting it on my YouTube channel, but also follow me on Instagram and stuff like that. I'm going to do like, you know, eating street food and just checking out Thailand and doing cool videos like that. So, yeah. So thanks for watching, everybody. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Buy Bitcoin, stack sats. And shave your knuckles for justice, because that's how we make Gotham great again.